Hi, I'm Travis Jewell with Radon Mitigation Services. Today we're just going to demonstrate some situations that can happen while people are acquiring bids, getting quotes and system designs from different radon mitigation companies. This particular situation was a real estate transaction. This house tested high during that process, and the buyers demanded that the radon levels drop down before they purchased the home. The buyers had previous experience with some radons. So they sort of knew what they were getting into as far as what to expect of a radon system. The seller acquired several quotes from radon mitigation contractors throughout the area. Some quotes, like the way that we do it, you come to the house, you design a radon system to the house to best reduce radon gas. With this situation, this particular system was quoted over the telephone. So the company just gave a price without knowing anything about the house. So we just want to identify a few problems. The main problem with this system is the fact that it's just not the right system for the house. This house is over 3,000 square feet. Half of the house is basement and half of the house is crawl space. With a radon system, you want to depressurize the soil underneath the entire basement and also depressurize the soil underneath the crawl space. Well, this company quoted it over the phone, and they sent out a technician, certified or not, who knows. But the technician installed just a radon system, and I don't even call this a radon system. It's just a pipe and a fan, essentially. What's happening here is they've used thin Schedule 20 PVC pipe, and they drilled a hole through the concrete floor, and I can see that the vacuum pressure is at 2.3, and based upon my knowledge of the fan on this system, that fan is at its maximum capacity, which means that it's not moving very much air through the system at all. With our knowledge of this area, we know that this home requires a higher suction fan. So the problems with this system is A, the fan is underpowered for the type of soil. B, the thin wall PVC pipe that can crack at the joints and break, and there's no primer at the glue joints, and they tend to come out. And also, this system is only taking care of half of the house, the basement. This customer came and saw that the crawl space wasn't sealed, and they were curious as to why. And they called this radon contractor that installed this system, and the contractor said that they weren't told that there was a crawl space in the home. And with those situations, you know, that's a company who claims to be a professional contractor who says that they weren't aware of a crawl space that takes up half of this house. As trained professionals, that's our job with our certification, to identify any radon entry point and design a proper system for the house. One other major issue with the installation of this radon, what they call a radon system, is the electrical situation. Radon systems should be hardwired to the house with a disconnect, an on and off outside the house that turns the radon fan off in the event that there's ever an issue with the flow of the system or it needs service. Well, with this situation, this contractor skirted the electrical codes they ran Romex wires along the rafters to a junction box, and then they tied into the junction box up in the rafters, they tied a cord that's dropping down and plugging into the wall. One major problem with that is that cord does not identify that it's the radon system. So if one of the homeowners comes down to work here on their tool bench, they unplug that cord not knowing what it is, plug in a tool, they're turning off that radon system, and they don't even know it. So proper radon systems should always be hardwired and have a disconnect next to the fan on the outside of the house. Let's cut out this thin Schedule 20 thin wall PVC pipe, and let's replace it with true proper pipe, Schedule 40 PVC, that has primered joints, glued joints, that's going to last for years. So Jay, let's cut this thing out. So there's the difference between Schedule 40 4-inch PVC and Schedule 20 thin wall PVC. Schedule 40 is a lot thicker, heavy duty. It's going to withstand any kind of bumping or any kind of environmental problems outside the house, and it's just going to last a lot longer. It's the true professional type of pipe. Not to mention that with Schedule 40 PVC, the system is a lot more quiet. So now we're on the exterior of the house to show the exterior components of the previously installed radon system. There's a few things that we'd like to identify of differences between the not so high quality and the better systems. One major thing right off the bat is you walk up to this system is just the look of it. I mean, the Schedule 20 thin wall pipe, they've got one color here, and then the joints are a different color of white, and then they use the black couplings for the fan. These fans are unpainted, so the UV rays can tend to make the fans discolor. Also, the UV can affect the PVC pipe and cause the PVC pipe to get weak over time. As far as a safety issue with this exterior system, if you notice, we were downstairs discussing how the electrical was routed downstairs. Well, the electrical junction box comes out next to the fan here. And in this particular situation, that junction box is only 3 or 4 inches off of the concrete sidewalk here. The problem with that is, what if there's a bad rainstorm, there's water pooled up here, and a child is standing in the puddle, and the puddle makes contact with that electrical circuit? That could be a major safety hazard. So we're going to tear this thing out, and we're going to install a high quality radon vent system. We're going to run Schedule 40 PVC to the fan. Our fan is painted. Our couplings are painted. We like to use aluminum downspout for the vent stack because it looks nicer on the outside of the house, and the downspout is adequate venting for venting up and above the eave. We are going to raise the junction box so that it's greater than 18 inches off of this ground here, and so that electrical shorting issue can't happen. And we're just going to make this thing look nice and replace the fan with a high suction fan that's the proper fan for the soil conditions that we identified downstairs, that sand dense soil. So everything's going to be a much better system when it's all said and done. Up over here, we replaced the system that was installed previously by another company with the radon vent system. The system is going to do a much better job of keeping the radon levels down in this particular house. We replaced the improper fan with a high suction fan that's made for this dense soil that's underneath this house. We've improved the exterior look of the system. The radon vent system is always painted to match, blends in with the look of the property and either the exterior or the trim. We also brought the electrical safe and up to code. Yesterday we showed that the other system had an electrical junction box that was too close to the ground that could cause shorting and be a hazard for children. That's all been improved. So this is just a step up from what they had before. The crawl space, the workers, they spent all day yesterday. They got the crawl space sealed completely, airtight. We laid a perforated drainage pipe underneath the crawl space membrane so that we can have suction throughout the entire space. And we added the second system on the other side of the house that's directed to pull air through that high airflow situation of the crawl space. So this house is fine-tuned to reduce radon levels for years and years to come. Downstairs in the basement, we have replaced the old thin wall PVC pipe that was just installed a month ago by that other company. We replaced that with Schedule 40 pipe, the proper pipe to last years and years and years. And overall, they have just a much better system. So when you're getting cost estimates for radon mitigation, always remember that not all radon systems are built the same and that not all houses are the same. Some radon contractors will quote you a one-size-fits-all system, and that won't do the job on most homes. You need to really have an on-site proposal that gives a full explanation of how the system will be routed. The estimator will be able to walk around the property and get a full understanding of the different levels of the property, the radon levels, whether there's a sump pump, whether there's cracks in the concrete floors, and they will be able to fine-tune the exact system that is needed to maximize radon reduction in the home. This house is a prime example. The previous company came in, they installed a cookie cutter, one-size-fits-all system, and it didn't do the job. They used low-quality parts, and they used a fan model that is not the right model for the soil conditions that are present in this house. So we tore that thing out, we replaced it with the proper system that has high-quality Schedule 40 pipe. It has a high suction fan for the dense substrate underneath the basement area. It has a second system that treats the crawl space that we sealed with a 10 mil plastic vapor barrier so that it's an airtight seal. And now this family can sleep well, thinking that their radon levels won't be a problem and that their family is safe. So always remember, research the companies, read their reviews, read their warranty and their contract, and make sure that you know what you're getting into, because radon is serious business. It causes cancer, and you want the system that does the job to keep it down.